special operations. So why do they have difficulties integrating business? I think part of it is I think they actually are extremely successful integrating in a business, but I think the person asking this was probably getting into, I'm guessing they are someone from the soft community. I think when you transition from kind of any elite unit or elite group of people, and then you get into the civilian world, there's this kind of sobering moment where you realize like the expectation you had for your teammates and the individuals that were in your unit, like that expectation is wildly not the norm. And if you continue to see the world through that lens and maintain that same expectation of everyday people, you're going to be disappointed pretty much in every component of your life. That's not just business. There's a standard, right? And you hold each other to that. And that's why, we're good at the job, because we maintain that standard and we hold each other extremely accountable. And in that community, there's a ton of peer pressure to maintain the standard, because every guy that's, worth his salt wants to be seen by his peers as a performer and a guy that's capable of doing the job and a reliable guy. He's good at his craft. And so you strive to that, and you work really hard to kind of achieve that reputation. I think the biggest thing, we've talked about this, Tone, a little bit, and I've tried to do my best. I'm still definitely not even close to being there, because as you've seen, Tone, like I still carry a lot of that mentality with me into this job here. And I'm forgetting that like these people are not SEALs anymore. And you know what I mean? Like I cannot expect them to be wired like we were, because we're a bunch of maniacs. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're as crazy type A as it gets. And I mean, to find that in society is like a needle in a haystack. And it's not to say that normal people, like that's a bad thing. It's just a different mindset. Yeah. So for anyone transitioning, man, if you're going into the, whatever company, Fortune 500, whatever, and you're thinking like, oh, this is like how everyone's going to be at Apple. It's like, no, you're going to be so disappointed, because you're going to be let down. So not applying that same filter. And I think one thing, at least in the military, we were really good at, that I wish we were better at as civilians, is like, if we get some really shitty news and it's just like, hey, there's nothing changing this is just what we're doing. We were really good at like bitching about it for like 60 seconds and being like, all right, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's get it done. You know what I mean? So like, let's say we had to go in on a Saturday, or like the plane we were getting on wouldn't fit all of our gear, so we have to go grab a box truck and someone's got to drive it 3 days across the country. Like when those things happened, it was just like, all right, this is just what we're doing. Accept it and move on. Whereas like those things happen a lot in business, where something drastically changes and you have to make a hard pivot, and it's kind of some shitty news or this and that. And I've noticed, and this is not a knock on any of us, as a whole here at Born Primitive, we are not as good at pivoting to that and just be like, okay, this is just the new direction of travel, so let's stop complaining and just effing do it. Yep. You know what I mean? But so for me, having come from that world where that's just how we did it, when people don't do that, I'm like, guys, stop moaning about this and just get it done. You know what I mean? And Mal and I have had conflict in this before, because like she's like, you can't treat them like Navy SEALs, like they're not. And I'm like, but they can be, like, you know what I mean? That's a mentality. We can create that culture, and it's like, no, you can't. So I'm still, as a leader, trying to figure out how much of those things that I learned from that community can I apply to these people and it be actually stick, and how much of it is I'm delusional to know that I will never be around that kind of caliber of individual across the board. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you've seen me work through that, and I'm definitely, I'd probably give myself a C-, honestly. Yeah. If I was assessing myself and like, how good have you done adjusting to the new environment you are as a leader? Like, not good, dude. No, I think I'm okay in a lot of areas, but as far as the kind of, hey, suck it up and get it done when those shitty things happen, I would say those are moments I don't excel in, because that's when I just want to get right to it and be very blunt about what we're doing. And it's like, guys, don't complain, just do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we've had conflict there too, me and you, about that. So
yeah,